Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have G.I. Joe Classified Series Crimson Guard, and it comes in that typical Classified Series style packaging with the artwork that's on the front that looks amazing, and it wraps around to the left, and the artwork is just phenomenal for the Crimson Guard. On the right side, we have the file card. The Crimson Guard is number 50, and then we got the same artwork that we've seen on the back of the package for a little bit now. But let's go ahead and get the Crimson Guard out of the package. The Crimson Guard comes with an iconic backpack that they did a really good job on with the silver Cobra logo, the texture throughout, the buckles. We got the peg on the side for the rifle, hole on the side for the sword sheath. That is if you want the sword there, because you can put it on the figure. Then we got the peg for the figure. There's a weird like handle or something on the bottom. I don't know what that part's for. I sort of tried to see if the magazine pops in there. I don't know what that is. But the fact is, we get that iconic and classic Crimson Guard backpack that looks phenomenal, and it's a solid chunk of plastic. It has some heft to it. The handle to the Crimson Guard sword is awesome. It's full of so much detail. It's very ornate. Got the snake head in there. This handle is just gorgeous. Now, the scabbard itself has like its texture of the leathery stuff. And it looks like the shiny leather instead of the worn leather, as it should. And then, mine did come out. Let's see if it'll focus when I zoom out. Of course not. Came out warped a little bit. The sheath did. The sword didn't. I still put the sword in there. Sword looking really nice and clean, painted silver. And as you can see, it's pretty straight. There's no warping going on, even though I put it into this warped sheath. Continuing with that ornate design that we've seen with the sword, we also get a really nice design on the knife with that same snake head, nice sculpted in detail. And this thing is a massive silver blade. Like, this isn't just your normal knife. This thing would definitely do some work. Diving into the firearms, we got ourselves the pistol. It has the nice, scaling for the grip, which looks good. Got the hole in the front for the muzzle effects, but this pistol is actually a really nice looking pistol. Finally, we get the most iconic weapon, along with the backpack, is the assault rifle with the bayonet. This looks like an M4, looking really nice. Nice details going on. The bayonet looks really cool. It'd be cool if the blade actually came off. And, this thing is phenomenal. And the magazine does come out. Just pops out. And we do have the spot for the muzzle flash to go on there as well. Here we take an up-close look at the Crimson Guard, and this figure looks amazing. Pinless joints. The paintwork, clean as hell. Got the texture on the shirt and everything, looking nice. All the metals. His helmet looks good, silver visor. Cobra logo on the side. Now, this is the first one of the three that I got from Big Bad Toy Store. It does have, I guess these were glued on. So I got, some glue residue. You can see it right there. So that's sort of a bummer. I'm going to try to take some alcohol to it. But that's not even the biggest bummer. So you see how the bicep swivel is this closed? This one came like this. I even tried heating it up. And, if I push it up, it sort of holds a little bit. But once you start moving it and stuff, look at that. That's rough. That is rough, the gap there. It should not do that. That was a bummer. I'm probably going to hopefully swap it out or get a new one to replace it because, bicep swivels should be like this. And it could be just because it's a softer plastic. Because with this being the pinless and the shoulder piece is a harder plastic. This is definitely a little bit of a softer. So it definitely has give. So when I'm having to lift his arms up, I grab it by the shoulder. But besides that, this figure looks beautiful. I have my gripes, but that's just because of QC. But other than that, the belt looks really nice. Got the silver V. Even the silver trim around the whole front piece looks really nice. Definitely has that regalness to a Crimson Guard, and I really like it. The boots have a nice leathery texture to them. Silver painted buckles on there with the straps. Move the hands out of the way. We got the holster for the pistol, the sheath for the knife. The Crimson Guard is definitely a figure that's fun to pose up. I added the blast effect from Action Force into the muzzle, and it just adds so much more to the figure having those blast effects, just for those figure photography and stuff like that. But he is completely geared up. Knife is in the sheath, pistol in the holster, sword attached to the hip, because you can port it on the hip or in the backpack, which is really nice. But this figure is really, really clean. Even with the gapping in the shoulder, he's still able to pose up. So it's like, it's weird. It's just weird about that shoulder. But other than that, I mean, that thing, it's a Crimson Guard. Like, you couldn't have asked for a better 6-inch representation of a Crimson Guard. You can even get your Crimson Guard posed up with his sword and the pistol, and again, using the Action Force muzzle effect for the pistol, looking great. And just the overall presence of this figure is awesome. I can't wait to get Tomax and Zammot so I can have them with their Crimson Guards. Like, it's just a sweet looking figure. Diving into articulation, this guy can have a lot of attitude. His head just has all that motion. He can look down that far. He can look up quite a bit, so a lot of good motion there. We get the butterfly joints that you can see in the shoulders. If you move these up, grab by the shoulders, or else you have a risk of causing gappage. So definitely could lift up by the shoulders, get full T-pose, bicep swivel, double jointed pinless joints, wrist rotation, and we get a vertical wrist bend on both hands. We get a ab crunch right here. Want them to go that forward. Allow them to go back. And we got the hula hoop ball hip, or the waist, should I say. You can do the hula hoop, which adds more to that crunch forward and that crunch back. So you got both pieces that go into effect for that type of articulation. We get drop down hips, so those work really well. You can do the full Van Damme thigh swivel, and then we get the double jointed knees, and this one is, nope, we'll have to do this one. So double jointed pinless knees. We do get the boot cut, which looks awesome. We get the ankle bend, and we get pivot. Now, you saw that I had to hesitate on this knee because this upper area was locked up. I heated it up to get it to move, but now since it's cooled off, it's back to being locked up. So be mindful of these pinless figures because you're probably going to have to, apply some heat to them. But yes, this is pretty much locked up at the top. And then another thing I noticed too is, if you guys see here, let me focus. The seam line on the knee pad, besides the knee pads being a slightly off color plastic than the figure, the seam line on this one stands out like really, really much. Like, look at that. Not so much on this one, but heavy on that one. Now it's time for some comparisons. We got ourselves Steel Brigade from Action Force. We have ourselves Sky from Fortnite Victory Royale. She's not really going to want to stand. There we go. So you can see some stuff there. Let's get these figures out of here. Let's bust out a Joe here. Got Spirit. Action Force Scarab. As you can see, I mean, it's going really well with all the other 1/12 scale figures. And then throw in, for heck of it, Black Series Book of Boba Fett, as he wants to lean back. But the scale is pretty good. Now, when it comes to the Crimson Guards, they're great army builders. They're actually probably one of the top army builders that I would have to say. Like, the Cobra officers are up there, the Bats. I almost feel like Crimson Guards might push out the Alley Vipers and possibly even the Vipers. I mean, these Crimson Guards are great figures. You just got to be mindful of the arms issue that I had where they have the gapping in the bicep swivel. As you can see, this is my good one. This one's nice and the way it should be. but be aware that this stuff has been sitting in cargo containers and all that stuff. So just be mindful if you get a gappy bicep swivel. But besides me having that issue, these figures are phenomenal. They come with tons of accessories. They're well sculpted. They're just really beautiful looking pieces. And that sums up my unboxing and review of G.I. Joe Classified Series Crimson Guard. If you guys are enjoying my content, hit that like button. New to my channel, hit that subscribe button as it helps the channel evolve and grow. Hit the silver bell notification if you want to know when I post up a new video. And make sure you guys go check out Toyco Toys and Collectibles. The website's down below. The Facebook pre-order group's down below. Best place to go for imports like your SH Figuarts, your Figma, Storm Collectibles. Definitely go check them out. And I want you guys to have the most important thing. I want you guys to have the best luck hunting. Keep on collecting and have a beautiful day.